Good morning. Today I'm going to show you how to check the resistance of your elements. We check the resistance of our elements to know how they're doing. That way, if the resistance is really high, you know that your element needs to be replaced and you can figure it out before you have a misfire. For this project, all you need is something to check your resistance with. Like for example, this multi-tool. It measures other things, but what I'm looking for is the resistance, which is this corner here. This is the ohm sign. That is what the resistance is measured in, ohms. So I'm looking at this corner here. You will also need to know what they're supposed to be. This chart came with the kiln when I bought it. I'm sure you can get one online as well, and if not, then you can always write to the manufacturer. But this is my electrical chart for the kiln, and these are my elements. As you can see, the two outer ones, the top and the very bottom, should be reading at about 10 ohms, while the two middle ones should be about 6. Let's see what we're going to get. So the first thing that you're going to do is you're going to unplug your kiln. Never ever work on your kiln plugged in. Your kiln draws at least 30 amps, sometimes more, and it takes 50 milliamps to kill you. Make sure you unplug your kiln. It's the only thing that you can mess up. With this project, this is the most important step: unplug your kiln. Once your kiln is unplugged, you're going to take out the screws out of your controller box so that you can open it. Some of them have another panel covering the elements. You just take that off as well. So these are your elements. This is your top element. This is the element below it, the one below that, and the very bottom one. So what your ohm meter is going to do is it's going to send a little bit of electricity from one end of the element, catch it at the other end, and tell you what the resistance was. So this is what it's going to look like when you're doing it. You're going to touch one end of the ohm meter to one end of the element and the other to the other end of the same element, just like this. And yes, they're slippery and they're gonna slide off, and the numbers will jump around as you breathe, as you move. When the birds fly by, you'll just get used to it. This is all you're doing, tip to tip. Okay, just make sure it's the same element, otherwise you're gonna get a crazy number. So let's actually take a look at the ohm meter. These guys are battery operated. Make sure your battery is in. You're going to turn it on. I like to go to the lowest setting. All of these read the same current. This is just where the decimal place will go. It's really simple. If I wanted to get the actual 10 and 6, I would go on this setting right here. But my tool has a really obnoxious beep at that setting, so I'm gonna spare you that. And I'm gonna put it on the lowest setting, so instead of 10, I am really looking for 0.010. And instead of 6, I'm looking for 0.006. That's all, same number. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to touch the tips of my elements with the tips of my ohm meter, just like I showed you before. Oh, I'm sorry. That wire is in your way. Here we go. Okay. And you will see how much the numbers jump around. I am just going to wait for it to stabilize. This one wasn't too bad, actually. It looks like I have 13 ohms. See that 0.012? That's 12 ohms. So somewhere around 12 or 13. Now I'm gonna go to the element below that. This guy I know has given me trouble before. It's a little bit maybe more corroded. Maybe it's just me. Let's see if I can pick up a number for you. And all these crazy numbers, they're clearly just, user error. It should be somewhere around 0.06. If you truly cannot get a number that's reasonable, that means that your element is snapped. So take a look, it's probably broken. But I don't think this one is. And so I'm just looking somewhere around 0.006. Let's see if I can find it. 10 ohms, yeah, 9, 10 ohms. So this one is getting a little bit old, right? It's not a perfect 6, it's like a 9 or a 10. Let's see what the guy below it says. The guy below it maybe also around 9 or 10. Sometimes I can get a better number. Oh, there's a 7. Let's see if I can stabilize it at 6. Okay, 6 or 7. So the element below that is doing pretty well. And then my most bottom element. Sorry, that's just me falling over. Looks like 13 ohms. So it looks like out of my 4 elements, the second one is the one that I better watch. But it's still very far from needing to be replaced. You know, it's if it showed like 50 ohms or 60 ohms, then I would be concerned, but this is a pretty good range. So I think I am still good to go with these elements for a while. And that is how you check the resistance. Of course, now I'm going to put everything back together, and the final step, I will plug my kiln back in. If you guys have any questions, please leave them in the comments and I will be happy to answer them. Otherwise, I hope I got through the process okay and it's reasonably understandable. And I will see you guys in the next video. Thank you so much and have a great day.